Hey everybody, it's Gomlet X and welcome back to some more Magic Arena. Today I'll be playing some more of the Midweek Magic Momir event. I am just really enjoying Momir. This is just how I want to spend my time playing Arena right now. Have been playing a ton of Innistrad Midnight Hunt. If you want to check out those drafts and sealeds, there are playlists on the channel for those, and we'll be back with more of that format next week. There's not much else going on Arena, so we'll have more premier drafts of Innistrad Midnight Hunt next week, as well as the Innistrad Midnight Hunt draft challenges are coming pretty soon, and I will be doing one of those every day that event is live. So in the meantime here, just going to take a nice little break from the competitive limited aspects of Arena and play some casual Momir Insanity again. Alright, so our opponent is going for the bold turn 1 plays here. We are gonna play it not bold. We're gonna go for 8 mana cards by not playing anything until turn 3. Our opponent hits a Death Bonnet Sprout, just a 1/1 that mills them every turn. Tokens do not have the backside of a card, so the Death Bonnet Sprout, while during Innistrad, will flip into a big 3/3 that gets bigger and bigger. It will never do that in Momir. Alright, a 1/1 and then a 2/1 are their cards turn 1 and turn 2. And we're going to start off on turn 3 here by waiting until turn 3. As you can see, by counting up cards on board and in hand, we'll make it to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana cards. Our opponent, if they keep playing a card every turn, will have to stop at 7 mana. Because they would discard a card this turn. That's 3 on board, 4 in hand. And then the math is really easy because it's just draw a card, discard a card every turn. So it's just what's in hand and what's on board after you've discarded your card. So what on earth does Seraph do here? Because every one of their cards has no relevant text. Whenever a permanent an opponent controls is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, put a counter on it. At the beginning of your upkeep, if it has 1 or more counters on it, you may remove all of them and exile each non-land permanent with mana value less than the counters removed this way. Alright, well, Seraph is going to be excellent as the game progresses. These tokens in Momir do retain the mana costs of their cards, I'm pretty sure. So I think that I do have to get... Yeah, like they have the mana cost in the top right-hand corner. So I do have to get a lot of counters on Seraph to exile a lot of stuff, but Goblin Assault Team was a good hit there. A 4/1 haste that puts a counter on it when it dies. And then, of course, because one of their creatures died, it gets another counter. So Seraph already has 2 counters. If we wanted to, during our upkeep, we could just exile their core Merfolk and shut Seraph down to being a 3/3. But I think I would just want to stack up on Seraph until we have like 5 or 6 counters and we can wipe almost their whole board. That would be really cool. Oh, I've never seen this card before. Just a 4 mana 3/3 vampire with Death Touch. Self-explanatory, but cool artwork there. So 5 mana now. A 4/6, when it attacks, you can sacrifice a creature to deal damage equal to its power to any target. Pretty good. Yeah, really good in Momir. That gives us a way to use any dirtily creature on the ground to like kill an evasive creature of our opponents. If they get a good flyer or unblockable creature, these are the creatures that really matter in the format, and the Flinger can really help clear those out. Wow, our opponent has gotten really unlucky here. They now have a 5 mana 3/3 that does nothing. So they got a 3 mana 2/2, a 5 mana 3/3. Their best card so far has just been a 4 mana 3/3 Death Touch. Not a great time for our opponent. Alright, 6 mana cards. There is always that very slight chance you hit Demon Lord Belzenlock on 6 mana. Demon Lord Belzenlock, for those who don't know, will literally exile your whole deck if you hit it. Demon Lord Belzenlock is just the, oh, I guess I lost card. Alright, 6 mana from our opponent. Ooh, they get a big old 8/8 trample. Alright. That's pretty big. Well, we've got a 4/4 flyer to chip in even when the board state is muddied up, and if we get a big enough creature here, we can keep the board under lock by just having it all cluttered with a bunch of ground creatures. Yep, just a big old 7/7, good enough for me. We could even fling that at there to deal 14 damage, I guess. To any target? You may sacrifice a creature. When you do, it deals damage equal to its power to any target. If it was a giant, it deals twice instead. We deal 14 damage to their face with the flinger. Well, I don't want to do that right now because it won't be lethal. I'm going to do that next turn for lethal. The Momir combos here. Oh my god. Giant Tribal does sacrifice a giant, deal 14 damage to somebody. Alright, well, they need to hit a removal spell immediately, or we're just going to deal 4 damage to their face in the sky and 14 with our giant. Alright, well, that blocks our 4/4 flyer, so they're not immediately dead yet. They are going to send in that 8/8 trample now, which I believe we will just not block, because I really want to be able to deal 14 damage to them, and I don't want to lose Seraph either. Okay. We're just exiling 1 card here still, so I don't want to do that. Alright. 8 mana cards, see what's out there. 8/8 can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less. Not bad. We could shoot their flyer by sacrificing it to the flinger, but then the flinger will die to their Death Toucher. This is a hard spot here. Do we just pass here? I guess I'm just gonna pass here. Like, maybe they'll attack with the flyer and leave their shields down. We don't have a good attack with the flyer unless we kill their flyer with the flinger. We don't have a good attack with the flinger, period. Even if we kill the Death Toucher, they can just double block with these two. Sure, we could put them to 2 life, but that doesn't really matter if we don't have a way to close it out after that. Alright, so they go for the all attack here. That means that we can crack back for lethal as long as we survive. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We don't survive that. This is really not that hard to make a good block here. We just take 8 and crack back for lethal. Alright, well now Seraph is massive and we just all attack with everybody and get a massive hit from the flinger. And we will get there. So 1 block, take 8 down to -6. Alright, well. That was a bit of a weird end to that game. I don't know why our opponent went for the all attack there. I think that they had a safe enough board position to just hold the fort still and we couldn't try to go for the cheeky flinger kill. But maybe they were really concerned about it or saw a line that I didn't see where we could have killed them there. Because it did seem like one of those just all-out attack because you know you're going to lose next turn sort of attacks. But I think they had enough shields up to not die next turn. Like, they'd go to 2 guaranteed because of sacrificing the card, but they could block pretty much everything else and kill everything we attacked with if we sent everybody in. And if we just sent the flinger in, of course, just kill the flinger so you don't have to worry about that killing you in the future. So our opponent is starting with 1 mana cards. Well, we will let them have their fun. We'll start at 2 mana cards because we are on the draw, so we still make it to 8 mana, even if we start with 2 mana stuff. Although we could wait to make it to 9 mana. Yeah, 9 mana has Zakama, Iona, stuff like that, and we're under no pressure here. We're just taking 1 damage a turn. So we'll take that little chip damage there and see what we get now at 3. 3/2. Alright. I will take it, Cunning Geyser Mage. 4 mana from our opponent. Biblioplex Assistant, a 2/1 flyer, pretty good hit. Evasive creatures, always excellent in this format. 4 mana now. We get a 2/2. It does force all of their creatures to block it, so if at any point in this game we end up with 20 power outside of the prized unicorn, we can just attack with everybody, and they have to block unicorn, so every other bit of damage gets in. So this card is deceptively good in Momir. It looks like garbage because we got a 2/2 for 4 mana and our opponent's on the play, so they're going to be beating us down. Like, we're going to be under a lot of pressure by getting such a small creature on turn 4, but that very much could end the game for us later on. Momir always ends up in some big board states, big board stalls. Well, just a 2/5 on turn 5. Not the end of the world. We can block their 4/4 with it. We just need to survive until we can get 20 power on the board, so we need to hit something decently high-powered sometime soon, and preferably consistently. Queen's Agent, also pretty low power, only 3 power. Alright, things aren't looking great here. We're going down to 12 now. But we're on our way. We have 8 power outside of the prized unicorn. We're almost halfway there. And the power and toughness of your cards is going to increase as you go higher up the curve. A 7 mana card is a lot more likely to have 6 or 7 power than a 2 or 3 mana card, of course. So it might take only 2 more creatures to find lethal here. So hopefully that is what happens. Come on. There we go. 7/7, and it deals 4 damage when it attacks. Huge, huge, huge card there. It also can block their flyer. That's immediately lethal right there. 7 damage plus 4 damage to their face. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Never mind. That is 1 damage off from lethal if we attack next turn. So if we do attack next turn, we can attack, blow up their 4/4, their 3/3 flyer, deal 3 damage to their face. Everything blocks the unicorn, so we kill the sliver. We can't win this turn, but we can still make a really good attack. And it's probably worth it. I guess we'll see what we have at 8 first. A 9/9. So, I mean, we're definitely attacking with Jakuzeth. Yeah, let's not attack with Prize Unicorn. Just attack with Jakuzeth. 4 to that, 3 to that, 3 to that. Clear out this board. And now we just have lethal next turn. Yeah, if there's no way to get lethal that turn, we might as well just play the safest way for that turn because we're definitely getting lethal this turn. Alright, big old 8/7, ward 2 on the ground. Not going to do it for our opponent, and they scoop them up. Alright. So another win for our heroes today. As always, I'm probably, or as I did yesterday, I'm probably just going to play until I get a loss here. Just wanted to play some more casual stuff, just not really feeling in the mood to play some Innistrad Unlimited right now because I am a little burnt out on it. I played a ton, of course, when the set released, and I'll be playing a ton again next week, so I don't want to overexpose myself to that. We're going to be doing a little bit of casual stuff in the meantime here to keep the videos up. On the play, let's wait till 3 mana here. A 2/1 that gets flying as long as they control a merfolk. So if they hit another merfolk, that'll be excellent. Otherwise, just a 1/1 there. Or just a 2/1 there. But we got a 1/1 on turn 3, so we can trade into that 2/1. So getting a 1/1 on 3 mana is not a great deal, but when your opponent has a 2/1 out, it puts in some work. It'll actually do something here instead of just chump blocking. Ooh, Shark to Crab is excellent. A 4/4 at 4 mana. Good power toughness. And then if we ever need to tap something down, we can do that at instant speed for 4 mana. We will have to choose not to play a card that turn, obviously, because 4 of our mana is going to be soaked up into the Shark to Crab, but that's a pretty versatile effect to have access to. And our opponent gets a 2/2 flyer on turn 4. Its other text is not relevant in this format. Pretty good hit. Always nice to have evasive creatures, but our opponent is facing down a lot of power on this board, so the fact that it doesn't block super well is kind of a big deal. So this is Joyra's Familiar that they got. Incredibly adorable artwork, a card I really, really enjoy from Dominaria. Probably my favorite card in the set because it's adorable artwork. It has an ability that I love that I use in a lot of Commander and Brawl decks. And I'm a huge fan of Joyra as well. So, super cool card there. So Cloud Piercer's what they hit on 5, a 5/4 reach. Alright, fair enough. We're probably just going to offer trades to stay aggressive here. Although I could see not wanting to trade with Shark to Crab, I definitely am okay offering to trade with a 6/2. Yeah, we'll hold on to the Shark to Crab in case we want to use that ability. Alright, and they do not want to trade for the 6/2 here. So they're going down to 10 life now. Oh, Shark Crab's adaptability. If they misplay here, we could very much find lethal. If they hold up just a single blocker, then we definitely have lethal. But I'll assume they're going to hold up 2. Alright, they're going to hold up all 3 blockers. They are definitely playing it safe here. So we'll just play a 7 mana card then, since we can only tap down 1. Oh, wow. Yeah, Black Dragon, an excellent hit here. A 4/4 flyer, and we kill their 1 flyer. No longer want to attack with Loathsome Patrol and just make a trade here because we could potentially find lethal tapping something down and having 4 attackers. So if they don't get a flyer here, they're taking 4 in the sky. Alright, they don't get a flyer, so we tap that. They take 4 in the sky. They block 2 cards, so they block these 2, take 3 on the ground. They take 7 damage total. They would lose both creatures they block with. This wouldn't untap next turn. Maybe it's right to just make an 8 mana card here, but I love getting aggressive, and so I'm going to go for it. Put them to 2 life here with a 4/4 flyer still on the board, and they'll have no creatures left. And we still get to play a creature here, it's just not going to be as big. So we still get to go wide enough to where we could easily hit any creature with at least 2 power to make it really, really unlikely our opponent gets anything to get out of this. Yeah, the fact that we get another creature here that's pretty much guaranteed to be at least 2 power at 4 mana means I think this is definitely the right line. And we do get a 5/3. Very nice power for the cost. Alright, opponent is at 2 mana. They can get 1 more card here to try to get out of this one. Alright, well, Nezahal is a token, so it will just remain exiled forever. So they just discard some cards to exile the Nezahal. That could just be a concession move, just conceding with style there. Because I think the only card they could possibly hit to survive would be if they hit Hoverguard Sweepers at 8 mana. That would give them 1 blocker, and it would bounce 2 of our cards. So kill 2 of our creatures, block the other one. So incredibly, incredibly unlikely for them to get out of that one either way. But definitely not the ideal time to use Nezahal's ability, unless it was just a concession move. Okay, we are on the play, so we will start on turn 3 with our cards. We'll just be spreading out our colors of mana in the early game. And then focusing on like red and black mainly. But Zakama colors matter a lot too. Ooh, Essica's an excellent 3-drop. Add a mana of any color here, and all of our legendaries can do that as well if we hit any legendary creatures. So we are going to be off to the races here. We're making a 6-mana card next turn, or a 5-mana card next turn. I am bad at math. While our opponent is just making a 3-mana card this turn, since they are on the draw. 2/3 flyer that gives all of their other flyers +1/+1. That's a pretty great hit. If they hit more creatures with flying, that could very much be an incredibly powerful card in Momir. Again, I do very frequently talk about just the power of any evasive creatures in Momir. So flyers in particular are quite good. So this one's a 5-mana 2/3. Uh-oh. They're going off. 2/3 flyer into a 3/1 flyer, and because the 2/3 flyer's ability, they're going to be buffing that 3/1 flyer into a 4/2 flyer. So we need to hit some good cards here, but we are hitting some high mana costs really quickly here. And there we go. Palladium Moors the Ruiner. That'll do it. 6/6 flying, vigilance, trample. Because of Essica, it also taps for a mana, so we can block their flyers here. We can even tap it for a mana next turn and get a... Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can get an 8-mana card next turn. Ooh, but our opponent's going off too. This is a bonkers game of Momir here. All right. Imrith Desert Doom. A 6/6 flyer, ward 4 as long as it's untapped. When it deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. All right, well, so much for attacking with Palladium Moors, and I'm also not going to tap Palladium Moors either because I need it to be able to block Imrith. So, just make a 7-mana card here. All right, Black Dragon. Well, there we go. Some really lucky hits from both ourselves and our opponent this game. But we are winning the luck war in Momir here. Getting a Black Dragon absolutely massive. Kill their card that pumps their flyers, making it so the only way for them to kill Palladium Moors would be a double block. And we also now just have 10 power flyers on board, so we can still block all their flying stuff. Towering Titan. 6/6 here. And that's pretty much it. Alright. This card could be absolutely massive in Momir when no creatures have died in one of those board stall games. Gishath with haste? Sure, we trade into the Towering Titan there, that's fine. So trade there, they have to double block there. Still trample over for 1 damage. So a net gain here, and we keep the board smaller, meaning it's more likely that we can Alpha Strike with everybody and get, 1 point from Essica or 2 points from Young Necromancer if we need to get that extra damage in. They are down to 5 life, so we're getting very close. So, do we do lethal if we attack all here? I think that we have lethal if we attack all. Because they block Palladia there, that there. They get trampled for 1, then they block that, take 1. No, but we can definitely kill both their flyers. Because if they double block here, they die. Because they take 4 there, plus 1 there. So attacking all forces them to lose both of their flyers. Because if they block there and then they block there, that's not a good chump block because it still has trample. So I think we attack all here. We kill both flyers this way and keep Palladia. Or not kill both flyers. Wait, no, yeah. Yeah, no, we kill both flyers or kill them to trample. I was going to say, I guess we don't kill both flyers because they can block this way, but if they block this way, they just get trampled over. For lethal. All right. on the play again here. Opponent going for Hyperspeed Momir, starting with 1 mana cards. They hit a Yoked Ox, a 0/4. Well, that's likely to block our 3 and 4 mana card, at least. Just on average. We'll probably get a 3/3 or a 2/3 on 3, and then a 3/3 on 4. But we'll see here. So very defensive cards from our opponent. They hit a 1/3 on turn 2. Yep, we did hit a 2/3 on turn 3, and this doesn't do anything in this format. There are no instants and sorceries, and we can't transform it because it doesn't have a back half. So sure, we're guaranteed to get enough tokens to transform it theoretically, but it can't transform. So just a 2/3 here. Pretty standard start to a Momir game here. Just some dirtily ground creatures from everybody. Do like this Raging Regisaur, definitely the best creature on board right now. 4/4 that deals 1 damage to any target when it attacks. Ooh, Basilica Bellhaunt, now the best creature on board, mainly from its Enter the Battlefield effect. Now we have to discard a card and they gain 3 life, so we will only make it to 7 mana cards instead of 8 mana cards. But in my opinion, it is not worth taking another turn off at this point. Ooh, Niv Mizzet Reborn, 6/6 flyer, by far the best card on board, and it is, yeah, I was going to say, it's completely shutting off my ability to pass the turn here, because Niv Mizzet's just covering it all up. Yeah, I forgot, they used to have insane animations for so many mythics. I feel like they don't really make them anymore with Innistrad. There's just not that many big animations like that. That being said, like, they're hit and miss. Ooh, Riddlemaster Sphinx. All right, the luck continues. Just kill the best blocker, I guess. I'm not too worried about Audacious Thief. They can cash this in to hit another land drop if they really need. But let's just kill their most high power creature here, and they're dead in 2 turns to flyers. Riddlemaster Sphinx, excellent Momir card. A big old flyer and a removal spell all in one. Alright, Horizon Scholar. It's only a 4/4 flyer, so it can't block these well, but it can block, but not going to be enough for our opponent. They're going to scoop them up here. They are over it. Our luck there, turn 5, turn 6, was phenomenal. A 6/6 flyer on turn 5 is well above the curve for a random card. And then a 5/5 flyer with a removal spell attached. Pretty ridiculous game there. So I like playing Momir every time it's around for a couple videos just to put out some undeniable proof there that I am whitelisted. I will guaranteed get the greatest luck ever all the time. I have hacked into Arena. We control the RNG today. Alright, so our opponent is on the play. They choose not to play a card turn 1. So since we're on the draw, we will start on turn 2. Just your standard Momir strategies on that Innistrad map again. I haven't been paying attention to the board recently, but I definitely love the Innistrad background. It's very nice. Ooh, Territorial Kavu. Get a 5/5 for 2 mana. Don't mind if I do. Power and toughness equal to the number of basic land types among lands you control. You have all 5 types of lands in any Momir deck. So we'll make sure to keep playing a different colored land every turn. But for 2 mana, we get a card that's going to be relevant for quite a while. The attack triggers don't really matter. We're probably just going to exile cards from their graveyard because discarding and drawing a card doesn't really do anything. What the heck? Klothys, God of Destiny. They actually got an enchantment because it's not a creature till they have devotion. They exile a card from a graveyard. If it was a land, they get a mana. Okay, so mana ramp. Because every card in the grave is going to be a land. So not bad at all. Get some mana ramp there. We've seen how good that was earlier today. with Essica. So, our Kavu, we can keep exiling cards from their grave, but they can still exile land from our grave. There's always going to be more than enough lands to keep using Klothys, even if we exile them. So on 3 mana, we just got a 2/2. There are no non-creature spells getting cast. There are no spells getting cast, period. They're just tokens entering the battlefield. Beginning of your upkeep, put a +1/+1 counter on each other creature you control. Oh dear. All right, that is a great 5-drop. Their board is just going to get bigger and bigger every turn. Luckily, they don't have any other creatures out yet, but as soon as they do, just get larger and larger. So for 4 mana, we just got a 3/3. Search your library for a card, put it into your graveyard, then shuffle. If it's an instant or sorcery, which it won't be, get a counter. So yeah, just a 3/3 on our 4 mana card there. Six mana, our opponent gets a Knight of the Tusk, a 3/7 Vigilance. Pretty impressive stats there. Good at blocking and sending in, mainly just at blocking, because we have plenty of creatures on the board to make a double or triple block. But with Victory's Envoy on their board, that thing is going to get ridiculous. It's going to be a 4/8 Vigilance, then a 5/9 Vigilance, and so on, so on. Alright, Squad Captain, not bad. A 5/5 Vigilance over here. We don't have good attacks anymore. We probably won't unless we get some evasive creatures. Now that they have the Victory's Envoy alongside a high toughness creature like Knight of the Tusk. Oh no, Elesh Norn Grand Cenobite, one of the greatest Momir cards. Because just one of the greatest cards in general in board stalls and heavily creature-based matchups. Your field gets +2/+2, my field gets -2/-2. Super, super huge deal. We only have 7 power on the board now, so we can't even block this well. Well, that might seal it this time. But you never know what you can hit here. 7 mana, I don't think there's anything that gets us fully out of this, but we might hit a Riddlemaster Sphinx to bounce Elesh Norn. Something like that. 8 mana is where like the mega juicy stuff comes up. Well, Inferno, not bad. Still a 4/4 Flying Haste. They're at 13. We hit them for 4. Next turn we hit them for 4, 5, 6. Do we attack here? Is this going to help block at all? Not particularly. Yeah, now we're actually trying to race. We kill them in 3 attacks with this card. So we just need to survive 3 turns, which is going to be really difficult because how big these are getting, but I think that's our best bet here. You know, maybe hit another flyer next turn or some really good blockers. That gives us a chance. The fact that these both have Vigilance is a big bummer. I guess if I held Inferno back, we could force them to not block with Elesh Norn, because then she'd be in danger. But right now... Oh, they could have somebody's life total become 10. They could gain a life or deal 4 to us. Deal 4 to us it is. I assume they attack with both vigilant creatures. That is the choice. No, don't activate the ability. So block there. Just make both these blocks. We have 1 blocker left after that. 1 blocker at 10 life. We block there. well, we play a blocker, then we block there, take 5, take exact lethal. Actually more because of the +1/+1 counters. Yeah, we have to hit something good next turn. Guaranteed. Is there any argument for waiting on the chump block? I guess it's going to be stopping more damage theoretically next turn because it'll have another counter on it. Yeah, I mean, I guess. Then we have more options also how we want to use these creatures. Maybe something really weird will happen where we want to attack with them. Some kind of Crater of Behemoth style card. Alright, 7 mana, what do we have? Beladros Witherbloom. At the beginning of each upkeep, create a 1/1. When it dies, you gain a life. So, when we pass to them, we'll gain a life now. We'll be at 6. 6 life with 3 blockers. We go block, 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 take 5, be at 1 life. They have to hit something here, because we can block everything except their 5/5 and go to 1 life because of Beladros making a pest. Oh my god, Beladros might have been the perfect hit here. Yeah, we go to 6. Alright. Our opponent has to hit just like a non-hasty ground creature. It can be something really good as long as it doesn't have haste or flying. You know, it could be a big old 13/13 trample or something, and we're fine with that. Just need it to not affect our board state. It's literally a big 13/13 trample. How does he do it? How has he rigged the system? Oh my god, here we go, Momir. This is why this is my favorite format on Arena. From the jaws of defeat, through the Elesh Norn, the called shot, nice 13/13. We'll hit for 5, and the Momir run continues. Well, I suppose that is not the end of this Momir win streak yet. So the video continues. Let's play some more Momir. What an insane game. What an insane back and forth there. Beladros just coming in clutch. You know, I'm a lorehold student myself, but Beladros Witherbloom really came in there. May have to think about swapping colleges, transferring. All right. Well, we are on the play, so I'm going to go ahead and start on turn 3 again. Let's see what happens this game. See what crazy stuff can occur here. Last game has melted my mind. I no longer speak the English language. Okay, so a 1/4 reach. Pretty nice. Being able to block flyers is good in Momir, and our opponent is going to just go for the big beef. They're not going to play anything on turn 3, even on the draw. They're just going to wait till they have really big cards to play. Alright, not the worst. 4-drop, a 3/3, and it lets us get in for 2 damage this turn instead of 1 damage this turn. I will take it. Veteran Dungeoneer heading on into the dungeon there. I don't think there's anything really impactful. Yeah, I was going to say, I think the most impactful thing for this format would just be to gain 1 life. The other dungeons, they could either scry 1 or have each player lose a life, and scrying 1 does nothing in Momir, because every card's just a land. So, yeah, I was going to say, I assume they just gain a life here, because they're not going to hit any other dungeon cards on average, so just whatever one little dungeon ability would do the most here is what they go for. Alright, Vigilant Baloth, very self-explanatory card, a 5/5 Vigilant Beast. But a pretty good card for 5 mana. Archon of Redemption, great card in Momir. A flyer that will gain some life throughout the game if they hit any more flyers. However, we do have a great attack with Vigilant Baloth here because the only way they can kill it is a double block, in which case we get to kill their flyer, which is always a good thing to do. Luckily, that 1/4 reach is coming in really clutch here. It has enough toughness to block their flyer all day long, so I suppose we're actually doing super fine here, even against this flyer. I was a little worried seeing that Archon, but we can block it all day long, so it's not even that great for them, and they're even going to take the trading into our 5/5 on the ground. I definitely think that's a good trade here, even having a reach creature. Flying is just such an important ability. So at 6 mana, we have Inspiring Commander. Any creatures that we get with power 2 or less are going to let us gain a life and draw a card. Drawing cards means that we can hit higher mana costs, but it's not going to do all that much. We could just sacrifice the commander here, because setting us down a mana is a pretty big deal. We could also sack the reach creature, because at this point, if they get any flyers, they're probably larger than 4/4s. Yeah, they're going to have 7 mana cards next turn. If they get any flyers, they're going to be bigger than 4/4s. Let's sacrifice the reach creature. It's probably going to be slightly more relevant to have this ability around, in case we hit any token-producing cards like Beledros Witherbloom or Verdant Force or anything like that. Okay, I don't have 8 mana, I only have 7 mana. Greater Sandworm, a 7/7 that cannot be blocked by small creatures. Not a super relevant line of text for this game. We're at the big mana costs now. Alright, so they are going for their 7 mana card. They waited long enough. Ooh, excellent card here, Black Dragon. This card is super good every time it hits in Momir. So that's killed our 3/3, and they have a 4/4 flyer. 7. They've saved up their cards to where they can get to 10 mana. At 10 mana, you do have cards like Ulamog. So at 10 mana, it's basically just a bunch of really big creatures on the ground. However, if they do hit Ulamog, that will exile 20 cards from our library every time it attacks, so it puts us on a pretty quick clock, and it's completely indestructible. So a little bit scared about their plan here. We trade 1/1 if we attack, so we're just passing. They double block here, and we only kill one of the 2 creatures. And on 8 mana, we just get our 7/6 Scaled Worm. 8 mana from our opponent. Bedlam Reveler it is, just a 3/4, draws them some cards. Pretty much at the same board state we were a second ago. Ooh, Polyraptor is fun. Whenever it's dealt damage, you make a copy of it. So if you can ever get it to be dealt damage without dying, that's when it really goes off. I liked attacking both here because they can't block in a way that kills both these creatures. Yeah, so one of these gets through or forces a chump block. Okay, I don't think that they did the math here. We do have 7 toughness. They probably, yeah, just shortcutted to seeing 2 worms and being like, alright, 2 worms, same size, 7/6 worms. But that worked out pretty well for us. But it's not like it worked out terribly for them. That was the same thing that would have happened if they just chump blocked, so it's fine. Uh-oh. Bringer of the Red Dawn's actually pretty sick in Momir. At the beginning of your upkeep, untap a creature and gain control of it until end of turn. Give it haste until end of turn. So they steal our 7/7 to attack us with every turn. Or if we get a bigger creature, they steal that instead. Bringer of the Red Dawn, pretty terrifying. I will be completely honest. So really looking for some removal like Hoverguard Sweepers or something here. Gate Colossus not going to be that, and now they're going to attack us with an 8/8. Luckily, our Polyraptor can block all day long, so Polyraptor is just the perfect chump blocker. The only way they kill our 7/7 is blocking with an important creature like their Flyer or their Bringer of the Red Dawn, so I like attacking here. If our 7/7 trades into their 4/4 flyer, that is, again, just a good deal, in my opinion, in this format. Because we're at the point where every card we're going to get, if we're getting a creature on the ground, it's on average going to be like an 8/8. So I think their best choice here would be to steal Polyraptor, because then they'll get a permanent 5/5 on their board. If they steal our 8/8, they make our Polyraptor block it, but then it just replaces itself with another 5/5. So they choose to steal the 8/8 here. Fair enough. That does help get other damage in because now my Polyraptor's definitely blocking the 8/8. Although I guess if they attack with an 8/8 and the Bringer of the Red Dawn, we'll block that Bringer of the Red Dawn. So they go for a 9 mana card again, get the 11/11 trample here. Super easy block. The replaceable infinite trump blocker that is Polyraptor. Go for 8 mana again here. What have we this time? 8/8 Death Toucher. Sure. Well, we're not really getting in anymore. They have an 11/11 to block with. We could attack with Polyraptor, but if we attack with Polyraptor, it will be tapped and unable to block, and it's our best blocker, so I do not like that. The only way that attacking with Polyraptor works out is if they choose to block. Uh-oh, Fire Dragon's pretty insane here. Damage to target creature equal to the number of mountains you control? Oh, they have no mountains. Never mind, I did not look at their mana base. Alright, this is another one of those cards. As you can see, no set symbol. This is a card they put on just for Momir, so these are the cards they put on just to spice it up, and you literally never know what's coming, because sometimes some card shows up that nobody on Earth knew was even on Arena, like Fire Dragon. So, kinda neat. My cats are meowing at me at the door, which is really weird because it's like 6 hours from their next meal. They want attention, they want pets and stuff. They're being cute. Well, we're going to keep doing our Polyraptor blocks. The flyer out here is pretty bad. So, like, on board, things look pretty bad for us, but things can always change in a heartbeat in Momir. And Ray's Forerunners can change things in a heartbeat. That's vigilance, right? Math is for blockers. Math is for blockers. I was gonna do the math, but I'm pretty sure this is close to lethal. And they're just gonna scoop them up, so a game that was looking pretty bad for us with their bringer and a flyer out, all of a sudden, bam, and raise Foreigners and get there. Now we can actually attack into the 11/11. Alright. So that worked out pretty well for us. Just some good luck again. But I think there were also some decisions our opponent made that could have been a little better. But, I mean, there's a bunch of cards on the board with mountains of text, so... So it can be really complex to find lines and stuff. But I do think just stealing Polyraptor would be better, because it hits us for 5 a turn, or if we block it, they get to get a 5/5 on their board permanently. Whatever token they make does enter their battlefield instead of ours. Okay, so our opponent on the draw with Suspicious Stowaway. Alright, a 1/1 unblockable. That's going to put us on a 20-turn clock here. We're guaranteed to just take a damage every turn. Our opponent's on the play. I don't know how I always get that mixed up. So since they're on the play, we can start on 2 mana on the draw here. Dismissive Pyromancer is really nice. If they get a 4 toughness or less unblockable or flying creature, at any point in the game we can choose to just sacrifice this to get rid of it. I don't really want to use it on a creature that's only hitting us for 1 a turn. But I might have to eventually. I think I'm going to hold on to this for now to save it for a bigger flying creature if they hit one. And that way I can just keep curving out with creatures for now. 1/4 reach. When enchantments enter our battlefield, we gain 2 life. So if we hit any enchantment creatures, get some life, that'd be nice. Opponent does have a reach blocker as well, a Bounding Wolf, so... This game, we've got some protection for flyers on both sides of the board. Bartered Cow, a 3/3, they get a food token when it dies. Alright, not bad. Your average 4 mana card. Ooh, Gavany Silversmith? Okay. I'm not going to put any counters on the Pyromancer because I am going to sacrifice it eventually. But we'll put a counter on these two. Vampire Sovereign drains us for 3 life when it enters the battlefield. Pretty good card. And now we have found the time to sacrifice Dismissive Pyromancer. We are going to kill a 3/4 flyer. And we'll play another card next turn. I don't really want to play a 2-drop. Now we can make it to 9 mana cards instead of 8 mana cards by skipping through that turn just to trade up into the good flyer. We had a reach creature that was good enough, but I don't think they were going to ever hit a better flyer than that also happened to have 4 less toughness, because now they're at 6 mana. Once they hit like 7 mana, it's going to be 7/7 flyers and stuff. Nothing that Pyromancer's really going to kill. Alright, 6 mana, Multani, excellent, gigantic trample creature. They do have a Death Toucher out, so that is going to trade immediately, but it'll get a lot of damage in here. We are on a 13-turn clock from their unblockable creature, but hopefully it'll be fine. They have a 7/7 trample here now as well. We might have to hold back Multani for blocks then, because now if we attack with Multani, like they trade there, and then we don't have anything to block the 7/7 with. Kind of need to be able to block everything because of the chip damage from the unblockable creature. Terror of Mount Velis. Our board gets double strike till end of turn. Well, never mind. Gigantic double striking Multani. They have no possible good block here. They go to almost dead. Alright, they are at 2 life, facing down a gigantic trample creature and a flying double striker. All we need to do is survive this turn, and we'll close this one out. If they hit a removal creature, they can get rid of our flyer, and then they can double block Multani on the ground. That would do it. I guess our flyer doesn't have trample, so their reach creature does give them another turn. I think their most likely way to win here would be to find lethal this turn. And a Haste Trampler might get there. That might be the end. What is the most damage we can stop? Stop 5 damage there, we take 2. Stop all 5 damage there. Or we could stop 4 there and take 2. Stop all 5 damage there. We take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, yeah, survive. Take 8, go to 4 life. Crack back with Multani. Good enough. Alright. That was looking a little hairy there, looking a little sketchy. Constantly taking that 1 damage a turn, always being under some pressure. Maybe it would have been better to Pyromancer that 1/1 instead of the 3/4 flyer, but all in all, still worked out in the end. Alright, we are on the draw this time. So we'll start things on turn 2. Little 2/2 Goblin Assailant. Very average for your 2 mana card. Opponent has 3 mana out, but still does not want to play anything yet. At 3 mana, let's see what we get. Oh, we got Klothys as well, but ours is full art, so I have no idea what it does. That's very useful. It just gives us an extra mana every turn, I believe. Just exile land from the grave to get another mana. So it lets us go up the curve here and stay more aggressive, which is nice, but our opponent got one of the best cards, one of the best 4 mana cards in Momir. So we're in a dangerous spot. All of their creatures are creature tokens, so literally all of their creatures have Vigilance and Lifelink. Pretty massive card in this format. Taste of Karlov looking super sweet here. So we both got a really good hit. We got a great one on 3, they got a great one on 4. Oh, they got Perforos. I don't know what this Perforos does. And it's also full art, so the world may never know. It becomes a 7/6 with Devotion of 5 or something. I think that's the only thing that it does in this format. Otherwise, it can put creatures from their hand into play. I believe it's just going to be a 7/6 indestructible later in the game, and that's pretty much all. Um, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I do not want to have my life total become 12. That seems not ideal. We can attack with our 4/4 though. That seems fine. So this can get +X till end of turn, where X is our life total, so we can threaten to attack with this as a 24/6 if we hold up the mana to buff it. So we force a block. Ooh, okay. Demon of Dark Scheme's pretty sweet there. Enters the battlefield, gives everything -2/-2. It's also... How does it have haste? Oh, Perforos gives everything they have haste. So all of their creatures have Vigilance, Lifelink, Haste because of Teysa and Perforos. Yeah, Lifelink Haste here is huge. Well, they don't go for the attack. I guess they didn't realize they had Vigilance there, probably. Okay, so this mana's only here during this main phase, so I can't... This mana's going to go away if I go for the Life Chanter attack. I think I still go for the Life Chanter attack, though, because it forces a chump block from either of these two creatures, and these two creatures are both important. And if they don't chump block, we just kill them. So we just attack here. Just choose to kill that nice flyer with our 24/26 and pass the turn here. Could make a 0 mana card if we wanted. We'd get like a 0/2 flyer like an Ornithopter, or we could also get an X mana card, which would come into play as a 0/0. I think that's likely enough. I'm not going to go for a 0 mana card there. Plus, by holding onto these lands, we'll play bigger cards later if we want to hit those really high mana costs. Alright, 5/5 Trample, Lifelink, Haste. The haste from Perforos and the Vigilance. Yeah, no, this is a hard combo to come back from. I actually think because of all of their combos together here, I can't really afford to just keep going for the Life Chanter attacks, because then they just chump block with whatever it is and then play another creature with haste and hit us, and then they chump block with that, make another creature with haste, hit us. Like, they constantly hit us while we're just slowing them down. We're not actually hitting them back. Yeah, let's just go for 8 mana cards now. Gate Colossus. An 8/8, sure. Now we actually are just holding blockers back to not get hit with the Vigilant Lifelink stuff, hopefully. So our opponent has 8 mana now as well. A 7/7 Vigilance, Lifelink, Haste. Pretty bad hit in general, but when you have Vigilance, Lifelink, Haste getting slapped onto all your creatures, not the worst. But we're definitely happy to see that on our side of the board. We're happy that it's just a little 7/7 here. One, two, three, four, five, 6, 7, 8, 9. Go for 9 mana cards. Try to hit Zacama if we're lucky. Alright, Zacama Primal Calamity. If we untap with Zacama on the board, Zacama takes over games of Momir. With the ability for 3 mana to deal 3 damage to a target creature at instant speed, you can spam that ability as much as you want. Same with 3 to destroy an artifact enchantment, or 3 to gain 3 life. Vigilance, Trample, Lifelink, Haste. Beginning of their upkeep, they draw 2 cards. Alright, that's fine. Just a 5/5 though. So now we're just going to go off with Zacama, so we're going to add red mana with Klothys. Perforos has Indestructible, so we can't destroy that with Zacama, but yeah, here we're just going to go... We're definitely killing Teysa. We have 4 mana left after that. We could gain 3 life or play a 4 mana card. We're already at 9 mana, so I think I would like to just play a 4 mana card here. So we're only dealing 3 damage once, so that doesn't really matter. I guess we could attack with Gate Colossus if we wish. See what happens there. And then we might get value from the extra 3 damage here, depending on how they block. Alright, if they block like that, we won't, because we'll need to do 12 damage to kill both, and we can only do 11. So that's fine. Trade the 8/8 for the 7/7 then. Pretty fair trade there. Yeah, I think I'd rather go wider on the board than just gain 3 life here. So we'll get a little 3/2. Get that out there. And I really don't feel like I need any more mana. Or I don't need it that badly. So we'll just get more attackers, even if they are small. Jin-Gitaxias, a 5/4. They can draw a boatload of cards, but it doesn't really matter. They're already at 10 mana. Now we cannot hold on to any cards in our hand either. But that also doesn't really matter. So we can 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have enough to do the abilities 3 times. Wipe their whole board. You know, with Life Chanter's ability and Zakama's ability, I think we attack with these two. Their only way to kill Zakama would be triple blocking it, because we can double shoot one if they don't triple block it, and if they triple block Zakama, they die to Life Chanter. Well, I guess they don't die to it, but they go like 5 life. We probably shouldn't put Zakama in any danger, though, should we? Yeah, let's actually just play the lands here. I guess it's been a long time since I've gotten lucky enough to hit a Zakama. So I've kind of forgotten how to do it right. And I think the right way to do it is just preserve it. Just keep it on the board, keep playing your lands so that you can hit bigger stuff. And then just kill whatever your opponent's playing. Like, if we had played our land last turn instead, we'd have enough mana to kill another creature here and then kill them. Still attack with the 4/6, then it just bounces off the 5/5. In which case we kill it with the 3 damage ability here. If they make the block, if they don't make the block, they just take 4. They could double block to kill it. But then we are getting a creature off the board. We're getting Jin off the board. Alright, cool. So get another creature off the board. And might as well outlast this, so it's bigger on the attack next turn. $11 mana. I think the only 11 mana creature on Arena is the 10/10 Metalwork Colossus. It is a 10/10 haste with Perforos out, though. But it is also an artifact that we can blow up with Zakama. So we get to kill their whole board here with Zakama and attack for not quite lethal, but a boatload of damage. And we get to gain 3 life in their end step now. With Zakama as well. They go for 12? I don't think they're... Oh yeah, there's Galta. At 12, there's Galta and... There's one other card. There's like Icebreaker Kraken or something. That's just a big old 8/8. Keeps our cards tapped down for a turn. Something like that. Alright, well, we'll gain some life and then just attack with everybody for lethal. Alright, well, for anybody who was looking for some more Momir content, this video, this is the one for you, because we are going off. This win streak has continued for over an hour now, and I am not going to stop the recording until we get a loss here. If it goes on like way too long and starts cutting into my time I have set aside for errands and such, I may have to concede. But that'll be a while from now. I'm going to do my best to just see how long we can keep this win rate up. And sure, a lot of this is variance, but I think if you just take a look at this video plus the last video, you do have to take into account that there is still always going to be some level of strategy in your plays in Momir, of choosing when to start playing creatures, when to attack and when not to attack, things like that. I do think that there have been a decent amount of games that could have gone either way based on how myself or my opponent has played throughout. So turn 3, we start with a Tempting Witch. Sacrifice the food to gain 3 life, or sacrifice it to have our opponent lose 3 life. Turn 4 here. What have we now? Whisper Blood Liturgist. Pretty bad hit for Momir, just a 2/2. Our opponent does have Steel Overseer here on 2. Great card, because it's going to keep getting a +1/+1 counter every turn. If they hit any more artifact creatures, it will be even better. Starting to work kind of like the Victory Envoy we saw earlier, putting a +1/+1 counter on multiple creatures a turn. Well, there's Nylea from our opponent. It doesn't really do anything until they hit Devotion to green, because there are no creatures in these decks. So could be a 5/6 indestructible later on, but for now, does not do anything. And their other card on board is a Teferi's Protege. They can spend 2 mana to tap it, draw a card, and discard a card, which doesn't do anything in Momir. Just mill a land if they wish. Alright. Valorous Steed on 5 mana is not terrible. A 3/3 Vigilance and a 2/2 Vigilance. They're not going to be big enough to do much other than chump blocking here, but at least it was 2 creatures. Tiger Tribe Hunter is sweet. Tiger Hunter's super sweet Momir, because that guarantees at the very least, if they get a big old like 11/11 or 13/13 later in the game, they can just throw it at our face. Even if we have infinite blockers on our board, they can also just kill some creatures with it. Oh no, Tribe Hunter doesn't work as well as I thought it does. It only deals the damage to creatures. Still good. It still gives them a very good use out of any of their big dorky creatures. They can use them to whittle down our important creatures like our flyers or creatures with good abilities like that. So Tiger Tribe Hunter I think still a pretty good hit, but this one does not damage players. I had in yesterday's Momir video, I think, the Surtland Frostflinger, which could sacrifice one of your creatures and throw the damage at your opponent's face. That was excellent in Momir. Alright, well, Valkyrie Harbinger's terrifying. A 4/5 flying lifelink at the beginning of their end step. If they gained 4 more life, they get another flyer that has enough lifelink to trigger itself. So, That is going to go off and make way too many flyers for us to deal with. That can very much be a huge problem here. So we'll see what we hit to maybe get out of this one. All right, a 3/7 flyer is a start, but it's not going to kill that flyer. It's just going to block it, which means they get to keep spitting out more flyer tokens. So we need some more flying power to get out of this. And we need it fast, because otherwise their angel army is just going to get wider and wider and wider. And now, on 7 mana, the Rampaging Brontoton, we're going to need a lot of power and toughness on the ground to survive that. That's going to attack at least a 14/14 trample next turn, but likely a 15/15 trample. So again, we can stop this from damaging us, but they'll still gain the life and get a 4/4 Vigilant Flyer here. What have we got on 8 mana? Spin that wheel. Just a 7/6. We can assign its damage as though it weren't blocked. Not going to get us there. That is certainly not a Hoverguard Sweepers style 5/6 flyer that bounces 2 of their cards, where we could kill the Angel and their Brontodon. That would have been our #1 way to get out here, I think. But now we do have 9 mana next turn, so we can start digging for Zakama. We're going to lose a lot of creatures when they attack with that Brontodon, though. Alright, Nylia's active, and they hit Borborygmos, which is great in this format. They can now choose, if there's ever a good position to do so, to discard a land from their hand to just deal 3 damage to any target at instant speed. Good card. I've made some good use out of that before. I think this is another one of those cards that's just on here for Momir, because I would love to make a Borborygmos Brawl deck. I suppose a 7 mana commander is a really hard sell in 1v1 Brawl, but it is a really fun card in general. If they had a Windreader Sphinx on their board, they could really utilize that Borborygmos. Draw a bunch of lands and then throw them around. Alright, so we need to do 15 damage to kill the Brontodon. So 6, 7, well, 7, 13, 14, 15. Sure, we take 1 damage from it that way. Take 4 from that flyer. So there's like really no reason not to stack this on there as well and not take 1 damage. We still lose just as many creatures. Yeah, I think that's how we play it. And this probably shuts down their Green Devotion to where Nylia is no longer a creature. Yes, very nice. Alright, well, our 1 out at 9 mana would be immediately hitting Zakama. There's probably only 1 out at 8 mana, though, as well, just immediately hitting Hoverguard Sweepers. We'll go for 9 mana. I guess Blazing Archon would do it. Blazing Archon makes it so they can't attack. That would be excellent. I should have played a Mountain this turn. I forgot I'm drawing a bunch of lands here. An 11/11 trample on the ground is not going to help us here. Now we're taking 8 damage in the sky guaranteed. They can discard a land to Borborygmos to do 3 damage to our face. They can sacrifice a creature to the Tiger Tribe Hunter to kill our 3/7 flyer so that we can't block any of their flyers. They actually have lethal here if they play this. They can tap Steel Overseer, sacrifice it to the Hunter, and then throw 7 damage at Windreader Sphinx. We can't block any of the flyers anymore. So we take 12 in the sky. I guess not lethal. We would take 12 in the sky plus 3 from Borborygmos. We would go to 1 life if they went for the Tiger Tribe Hunter, sack Steel Overseer to kill our flyer. But that would require chump attacking with the Tiger Tribe Hunter, so I guess they didn't want to do that. So we can go to 1 life here, or we can lose the Windreader Sphinx. Now I don't even think Zakama saves us, because we don't have enough mana to do enough with it. And they're, of course, going to kill Windreader Sphinx here. So we go to 8. Yeah, if we're at 8 life and we get a Zakama out, sure, we'll have a gigantic reach blocker, but won't save us. So I think the only things that could save us now would be like something that wipes our opponent's entire board. The only card I can think of that would wipe their whole board would be Rakdos at 6 mana, and that involves a bunch of coin flips. Hoverguard Sweepers at 8 would be another flying blocker and kill 2 of their cards. We can kill their 4/5 Angel and their Borborygmos. Then we can block the 4/4 Angels outside of one of them. I think we would just die, though, because of Tiger Tribe Hunter and stuff. Because we'd only have 6 blockers. They would have 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, they'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They'd have 6 attackers, 7 attackers, because they'd still have the Brontodon. How much does Blazing Archon cost? Blazing Archon costs 9. So I guess at 9 we could hit Blazing Archon. Sure. Blazing Archon, let's go. That would get us there. Because then they can't attack, so they can't even sacrifice a creature to kill the Archon with the Tiger Tribe Hunter's ability. And then by getting that out, that would give us the time to start trying to hit Zakama. We'd keep getting hit from Borborygmos for 3 a turn if they did that instead of playing their lands as creatures. Oh my god! The called shot! Oh my god. I kind of want to give them the shrug, but I feel like that's rude. But also, it's so insane that that happened. Alright, well, we'll see what they do here. They could just hold on to lands and wait till they draw 3 lands to kill us. We still need to find a way to kill Borborygmos here. I guess they could draw 2 lands and then just kill the Archon. So now we need to hit Runner on excellent cards. We need to hit Zakama or Hoverguard Sweepers yet again. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Or another Archon, I guess. Go for 9 mana again, I guess, for another Archon or Zakama. Hopefully. Iona would be okay. There are a lot of duds at 9 mana. Alright, Iona. At least it's a flying blocker. Next turn we'll have enough mana if we do hit Zakama to start shooting something immediately. Or start gaining life immediately. So now is where we'll find out if this is just lethal here. Because they are going to be able to attack this turn. If they wish to. Might just be lethal this turn. We'll see what they do with the Tiger Tribe Hunter. Yeah, no, they have way more creatures than we do. Blazing Archon gave us some super sick hope, but I'm pretty sure that we're dead here. We can make some good blocks, though. They kill Iona, I'm guessing, so that we can't kill a flyer. Yeah, no, this Valkyrie Harbinger just taking over this one. Yeah, we make 5 blocks. There's no way. There's no way. We take 12 in the sky, gain 3, go to 11. So that is game. Stop maximum damage by going there. Oh, we already blocked that. I'm a doofus. Alright, that's the max damage we can block, and we go to like -4-ish. Go to -4 exactly. Well, that is going to end that run there, but a really long one, an hour and 20 minutes of Momir before we got our first loss that time. So certainly had some fun with the format, but I think that is going to end the Momir for me on this Midweek Magic run through. And that is also going to end the video for me today. I'll be back again sometime soon with a mix of some Innistrad Midnight Hunt drafts and Historic Brawl gameplay. The next big events that we have coming up, if I could check out the calendar, for those interested and watching at the time of release, we have draft challenges of Innistrad Midnight Hunt. I'll be doing one of those every day that they're out, but they don't start until October 22nd. And then we'll have Ravnica Mixer drafts the week after that, and Premier drafts of core sets the week after that, followed by, of course, Crimson Vow the week after that. So a ton of stuff happening October 22nd and onward, and I will be putting a ton of effort into the channel at that time, doing a bunch of daily videos, but in the meantime, we'll still find some things to do, find some ways to play on Arena, and have some fun. So as always, thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon for some more Magic Arena.